Do you have a storage unit that's a black hole where things go, you can't find or access anything, and nothing ever seems to come out? Well, it's time to organize your storage unit. Stay tuned for tips and tricks to get your storage unit organized and optimized for you. There are nearly 50,000 storage units in the U.S., with almost 2 billion square feet of rentable storage space. That's a lot of storage. Unfortunately, most people reserve a unit and start loading it up without a goal or strategy in mind. It soon becomes a dumping ground for anything that doesn't have a use or a place to be stored at your home. As a professional organizer, I would naturally encourage you to think about why you are holding onto these items and come up with ways that we could store them at your home where they would be immediately accessible and where a storage unit may not be necessary. But we all know that sometimes storage units are absolutely necessary. So if you are at the point where you are storing items off-site, there are a few factors to consider. What are you storing? How often do you need to access it? And how best to store it? So let's dive right in. The first tip is to categorize your items. Is there a particular category of things that are going in the storage unit? Think about what you're storing and place it in that category. For example, is your storage unit going to hold seasonal decor, like holiday decorations? Special occasion items like tables, chairs, buffet servers, things for those big parties? Sports gear like skis, snowboards, or even camping equipment? Collectibles, maybe some things that you think are valuable that you want to sell one day. Memorabilia, all those wonderful treasures from grandma that you can't let go of. Or temporary items. Maybe you're doing a home remodel or you're between moves and need to store some furniture or household decor in a place off-site. In this case, we pulled everything out of the unit to sort and discern which categories were stored here. And once you know your categories, you can now move on to the next step. Tip number 2 is to zone your unit. You need to map out where you would like to have everything stored in your unit, and you'll determine placement by how often you plan to access those items. For example, you may want to hold on to memorabilia, but have no plans to access it anytime soon, yet you'll be pulling out holiday decorations every year. So naturally, put those holiday decorations in a more convenient location where you can access them. The same thing goes for seasonal sports gear like skis and snowboards, or with temporary items such as furniture and house decor that you're storing for just a short amount of time. Once you have your zones established, you can then move on to the next step. Tip number 3 is to maximize your vertical storage. This is the last and most important tip to organize your storage unit. You want to maximize your vertical storage, and you do that with shelving. Boxes stacked on top of each other collapse and crush each other under the weight and damage the items you've been saving inside. Shelving creates multiple levels in the same footprint. You immediately have 6 to 7 feet of vertical storage height, which can create 40 to 50 more square foot of storage space. Just think how many storage units could be reduced with just a few shelves in each unit. I hope this video has inspired you to think about how you will organize items in your storage unit, categorizing them, zoning your unit, and then working on how you can best store them with shelving. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you've liked this video, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And while you're there, click on that bell icon so you can be notified when I release my next organizing video. In the meantime, this is Cary Prince wishing you, from my home to yours, a very happy, organized day.